Okay, let's talk about the elephant room and why a lot of adolescent men love the genres so much, and women. The genre is filled with beautiful women. So we're gonna do top 10 sexiest women in horror. And keep in mind, this was no easy list to put together because there are so many great women, beautiful women working in horror, okay? So in the comments, let me know some ones that are your favorites because I'm sure I'm gonna miss quite a few. I'm gonna give you 2 honorable mentions. But without further ado, let's get right to the countdown. Number 12 is Katherine Isabelle, and the reason I put Katherine Isabelle is not Freddy vs. Jason, but actually See No Evil 2. I think she really stuck out in that movie because of A, she was beautiful, but B, she had a really sassy way about her, and I've even said that, like, I think she would have been a great Harley Quinn just based off the way she looked in that movie. But also American Mary, she's just a very strong female type, which is very attractive. So I had to put her on this list. Next honorable mention, might surprise you, is Anna Paquin. And we all know that Anna Paquin did The True Blood, which was a sexy vampire show on HBO and had quite a few seasons. And she was the lead character in that. And there's a lot of sexy scenes with her. But the scene that really puts her on this list for me is the anthology Trick or Treat. She plays one of the werewolves in the movie, and she literally has the best scene. Like, she steals the whole movie when they're, she's playing Red Riding Hood and she's seducing this guy, and then she eventually becomes the werewolf. And just the way that scene is directed, and at the end when she throws her head up, she does the wolf's howl. Very well done and sexy scene. Okay, top 10, number 10, Danielle Harris. We all know Danielle got her start in Halloween 4 and 5, and she was this child actress. But most people don't realize that most of the movies that she's done were as an adult. And she's not afraid to, take on any type of role. She's one of those actresses that will really just go for it. But behind the scenes, we've seen some very attractive photo shoots with Danielle. She knows her strengths. And one role that always stuck out to me with her is, again, See No Evil 2. She was the lead final girl in that, and she had a vulnerable side. And I think that's one quality that Danielle portrays quite well, is vulnerability, but also strength. Number 9 is Kate Beckinsale. I think a lot of guys would probably put Kate as number 1. She's always been like one of my celebrity crushes. My wife even knows this. And I probably would have put her at number 1, but this is a horror list, and I'm trying to pick out certain movies. And the one, of course, is Underworld for Kate. I mean, she wears that leather very well. She's just a commanding presence in all the movies that she's in Underworld, and even in the bad Underworld movies, and there's a lot of bad ones. Selena's still a great character, and a very sexy character because of Kate's performance. Number 8, Samara Weaving, who has really crept up onto the scene and is not afraid to dig her claws into a sexy and seductive role. She did it with The Babysitter, capturing every young adolescent male's, fantasy, having that hot babysitter. And then eventually, going full on demon. She's just a very powerful character. We all like those characters that are in control. And then she takes it to the next level in Ready or Not, which is a completely different type of character, but she plays this character that has to rise up and survive this crazy situation where her new husband's family is trying to kill her. Number 7, another obvious one, Jennifer Love Hewitt. In the 90s, I think every guy was in love with Jennifer Love Hewitt, starting with Party of Five. But on the horror front, of course, she did I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't think she's like the strongest final girl, but as far as like the visual goes, she is definitely one of the most attractive females on the scene, still to this day. And I think she even ups it a notch using her strengths, wink wink, in the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, thanks to some rain and a nice tanning bed. Number 6, Monica Keena. There are two movies that I definitely want to point out here. First, of course, is Freddy vs. Jason. I had never even heard of or seen Monica Keena until I saw Freddy vs. Jason. And she really just leapt off the screen. And it's not an easy thing for a final girl to do that doesn't have, you know, a proven resume with the viewer. But from the get, she has to go up against not only Freddy, but Jason. And she holds her own throughout the whole movie. She's a great final girl. And again, very attractive. And just recently, I saw the Night of the Demons remake, which was a well-updated version of the original. And she even gives Linnea Quigley a run for her money. Number 5, Jamie Lee Curtis. Need I say any more? There's so many reasons why Jamie Lee Curtis belongs on this list. You know, the obvious being that yes, she is beautiful. She was beautiful. Funny enough, she uses her other strengths in her horror roles like Terror Train and of course Halloween. In Halloween, she's not playing, you know, the sex pot. She's playing the good girl. It wasn't until you know, her other roles outside of horror that she really started letting that side of her come out. And boy, does it come out. But she's, you know, the scream queen, so of course she has to be on this list. Number 4, Salma Hayek. Let's get right down to the point. The scene in From Dusk Till Dawn when she does that dance, probably one of the sexiest dances in horror history, and need I say more? And we all know Quentin Tarantino has that foot fetish, and boy does she deliver. Number 3, the late Elizabeth Brooks from The Howling. I had to put this on the list. Most of the time, concerning vampires and werewolves, it's the vampires that end up being the sexy ones. But this was a case where it was a werewolf that turns in one of the most erotic sex scenes ever, because she literally turns into a werewolf mid-sex scene. And it's a very weird scene, but also very hot and attractive scene. And she stole the show. And it's just sad because she ended up passing to cancer. But she will always be imprinted in every male's mind because of her role in The Howling. Number 2, Denise Richards. In the 90s, of course, she did movies like Starship Troopers, as well as cult hits like Drop Dead Gorgeous. But there's a couple of roles that she did in horror that really stand out, that she plays to her sexual strengths. One being Valentine. You know, she has that very memorable hot tub scene. Putting Denise Richards in a hot tub, not a bad situation. And then, of course, the scene that everybody talks about is the scene with her and Neve Campbell in Wild Things, and they have that kissing scene in the pool. You know, very erotic scene. Pound for pound, Denise Richards might be the most beautiful woman on this countdown. Maybe that's why she's number 2. Number 1, Megan Fox from Jennifer's Body. It's really the only horror movie that I think Megan Fox ever did, but boy does she come out swinging. You can tell that she really loved this role. It doesn't hurt that you have Diablo Cody with that witty dialogue, but there are quite a few scenes that, you know, she goes for a sexual punch, especially the scene between her and Amanda Seyfried. Didn't we just have another scene like that in number 2? And I love that Jennifer's Body seems to be getting its comeuppance lately, because back then it was panned by critics, but it's one of those movies that lived on thanks to the horror community. In Killer Flicks, people constantly talk about the movie. I think that's because of Megan Fox's performance. So anyway, guys, there you go. Top 10 sexiest women in horror. Let me know the ones I missed in the comments, and look for more top 10s coming down the line. Also be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And it's getting hot in here.